Excellent. And Jai from Morgan State University.
Staying well, it's a pleasure. Good afternoon. How y'all doing? I'm Jai
Pleasure,
Shields.
Jai. What's going on, brother?
Can't complain, man. Good to talk to y'all. So I was preparing for this interview and getting a little bit of a general idea of this true crime, this show based off the true crime series in 1970s Georgia. And I came across a quote in my notes, and it said that you guys wanted to do something that hasn't been done, sort of like a Black Ocean's 11. How did you guys use movies such as The Godfather, such as Casino, TV shows such as The Wire, The Sopranos? How did you guys use crime series and movies based on organized crime schemes, fictional and based off of real life events? How did you guys use that as your blueprint slash catalyst on how to create and map out the premises of how you wanted this story to be distributed on television?
Well, for me, it's just like a tone thing. So, what's so great about all those shows that you mentioned, besides being some, the most iconic television ever done, is like those shows kind of had a very simple kind of through line from a plot standpoint. The Wire is about drugs and crime in the city of Baltimore and how it affects all these different people. Sopranos is about a mafia don who has problems like the rest of us. So the thing is like the genre helps you to kind of like be able to steer things forward and not get too crazy, but it gives you it gives you an opportunity to really do some interesting work from a character standpoint, because at the end of the day, these are all crime shows. At the end of the day, what's driving Fight Night is this incident that took place and Chicken Man trying to clear his name. But we can do all this cool creative stuff with all these other characters because we always have that through line to come back to.
Yep. And I'll tell you this, Jai, the dream is for this to be mentioned in the same breath, to be part of that pantheon of amazing television shows that people invested in the characters that are from that genre. That's the dream. That's what we were going for. So it's certainly ambitious. But as you all HBCU folks know, just like Shay represent Howard, me represent FAMU, you know you can do anything when you set your mind to it. So that's what we're going for.
100%.
Perfect. Chloe, as somebody who is an uprising star in Hollywood, you've accomplished a lot in a short amount of time. It's a blessing being young and in your 20s. We all should know. Do you ever have one of those moments where you're on set, obviously, for this project, and Kevin Hart walks by and there's Samuel L. Jackson? You ever have that moment where it's like, oh my God, I'm living my dream in the here and now? It's not a movie. I'm not dreaming. Like, this is actually my life, what I get to do for a living.
That was me the entire process of filming this. Nice to meet you, by the way. I think, of course, we, as artists and creatives, we're constantly in our heads and like we're on to the next in our mind. We're like, okay, what's next? How can I reach this next goal? How can I reach this? But definitely while being on this set, it gave me a moment to sit back and definitely digest the moment and say, hey, I'm on set with these legends, with my peers that I admire. I get to be a part of this. How cool. So it was like, okay, you must be doing something right, that you get to share the screen with people who inspire you to the umpteenth degree. So this was definitely that moment for me where it gave me a time to get out of self, get out of my head, and kind of give myself a little bit of pat on my back,
Absolutely. Obviously, unlike other arts, yours takes a lot of time. Putting together a TV show, it takes a lot of work. Whether it's sitting in the makeup chair, running back lines, table reads, and then when it's time to, shoot the whole episode, getting it done, which can be a very long and tedious process. How do you guys keep yourself emotionally grounded by means of not getting too impatient when a line that you say doesn't hit the way you want it to, in terms of the level of emotion you want to put behind it, whether it's you're dealing with bad weather, people on set get sick? How do you guys keep yourself at an even keel emotionally when it comes to shooting a TV show such as this one?
I personally really love this question, and I'm so happy that you asked, because you have to have something to pour out. You can't pour from an empty cup. And for me, yes, this is something that I love, but I also have to separate my real personal life and the craft in this world. Because if not, you will drive yourself crazy. Because there have been times where I put so much of my validation into my career and into what I do as a job. But that you don't, like, when you transition into the next life, you're not like, oh, I did this and I did this and I did this and I did this. It's really about your core and your internal. And at the end of the night, when you look at yourself in the mirror, are you feeling whole? So for me, what I do, I have found my sanctuary in the Caribbean, specifically St. Lucia. So anytime I can, I take a break and I go there just to bask in the sun and swim in the water and remind myself that there's more to life than, you know, the superficial facade, which I am grateful to be a part of, but I also have to be real sometimes with myself and authentic that this is not what life is all about. And sometimes we can forget that, especially the creatives that are in it. Like, this is all that I am as a human being, but that's not the case. So it's about being able to divide the two worlds. So that little things like that on set, you're not beating yourself up so much because you're teaching yourself that there's more to life than just this.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Truly.
Kevin, this one's for you. Obviously, one of the funniest men in Hollywood, worldwide phenomenon for the better part of the last 15 years plus in the comedy, not just with stand-up, but also in the comedic film industry as well. How do you take that impassioned, emotional attribute you have that delivers when you're on stage telling a joke, or delivers when you're in Ride Along with Ice Cube? How do you take that same impassioned emotional attribute and translate it to a serious role such as this one in this TV show, Fight Night, where you're portraying Chicken Man?
Understanding the importance of collaboration, and any success or all success shouldn't just be one success. It should be we, right? And the more you put yourself around people that have the energy and understanding that you can collaborate and achieve great things together as a unit, the more you'll do that. So the drama aspect of it comes with the collaboration with great dramatic actors and actresses, and, you know, getting yourself in a position to learn or to feed off of. Those things are not an accident. And I think I've been very fortunate to work with the talent that I've worked with, from Wesley Snipes, from Bryan Cranston, Nicole Kidman, you know, and that drama.
You dropped
I'm
these
pinning
names.
the names,
You
right?
dropped a lot of them.
You got it? Do you have it all?
Yeah, there
You
you
know,
go.
Alfre Woodard, right? These are all amazing names that have helped elevate me in that space. And then going and working with Sam, with Taraji, with Don, with Terrence, like you're putting yourself in a position to just be a sponge. And every day you get better and better. So you're coming with an understanding, but the expectation is something that you can't truly say what it will be until you're in it, because it just grows and grows and grows.
I knew
from
he
day to
would
day.
be good as a dramatic actor. I told him early on in his career, I can't wait to see you do drama, because I think comedians make really good dramatic actors. They bring a level of humor that sometimes dramatic actors miss, making the character more dimensional. Because, you know, as in life, we can laugh 1 minute at one thing and that same thing in the next breath we could cry. And so I love to watch people that can make me laugh in one breath and the next have me weeping. And Kevin does that. He has that.
And you gotta have an understanding for going through some shit. I think I've been
Yeah.
through enough shit.
Well,
So,
no.
Yeah,
Acting
I've been
is
through
a,
enough.
well, no. Back
I
up.
pull from all that.
No, you pull from it, but what I'm saying is that you understand the craft. Everybody can't do that,
That
Kevin.
makes sense. I get what you're saying.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You don't shit on my craft, okay?
I didn't shit on
I ain't
your
up on
craft.
your stage trying to tell jokes, all
I
right?
didn't say that.
Even though I think I'm good.
I told you to do a one-woman show. I tell you every
I-
time. We're
you
trying to
know,
make it
we-
happen.
we-
Go ahead. Just let it happen. Go ahead. Sorry.
Excellent.
This question is for you, Don. In preparation, did you have an opportunity to meet face-to-face, telephone conversation, Zoom, whatever it might be? Did you have an opportunity to meet face-to-face and talk to, and to gain an understanding with any Black police officers from that moment in time, whether it be whether it be in Atlanta, whether it be in Miami, Tampa, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Did you have an opportunity to meet and talk to with any cops that lived and were on the beat during the desegregation of these huge municipality police departments back
Yeah,
in
and
the
a
day?
lot of them were around Atlanta at the time, and a lot of them were around the set at the time. I mean, JD is passed, and these men are elderly now. But yeah, and it's was a very challenging time because you're trying to integrate a system that is not built for you, and in fact is in many ways an anathema to who you are and what you're trying to do. So, you know, it was very challenging for them to be somebody who would protect and stand for the community, but at the same time often have to go into the community to do their job and do things that were seen as being against the community. You know, Black people at the time when they first integrated the police force couldn't police white people.
Right.
They could only arrest Black people. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place as you're trying to move up and be somebody who can get to a position to where you can change that institution and see more justice and seek more justice for your people. So I think the show does a good job of portraying that sort of struggle that JD has while he's attempting to pursue this thing that outside of all these Black people, kind of nobody really cares about. You know, when you listen to the podcast, which is a really great podcast that this is based on.
Gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's really good. At the end, you know, it's just all this the reason we don't know this story today, because it didn't really matter. It was only Black people at that point. So I hope people are curious and are inspired by this storytelling to like look into that period of time and to understand our history, and who knew that it was going to be incumbent upon actors and artists to like make sure that the history is still told in this country.
Gotcha. Perfect. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.